Hello, you guys. So we are going to go over the Google Meet breakout rooms. So I've gone ahead and I've opened up a Google Meet, and I have myself as the teacher, and I have Mrs. Kanzler and the guest account as our mock students. So that way this example is a little bit more accurate. So what we are going to do is we are going to go to the top right-hand corner and click, this is called the activity icon. It's got triangle, square, and a circle on it. When we click it, we will have 3 activities to choose from: breakout rooms, polls, Q&A. Really quick, I'm going to go over Q&A and polls. Q&A is something that we've tried to utilize in TEALS, but quite honestly, we haven't quite nailed down how to use it consistently, because it's very similar to if students were to type in a question in the chat. The only difference is you can mark when a question has been answered, and it'll send you a sheet with attendance at the end of the meet telling you the questions that were asked and whether or not they were addressed. So if you want that for records, that is a nifty thing. However, polls we have found for TEALS to be a lot more useful in regards to question asking. We use this every day, multiple times throughout class. We have questions that the curriculum doesn't require, but has us ask for comprehension. And so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and ask those questions in the polls, give them 4 or so options to choose from. And the really nice thing about polls is that while the meet is going on, all answers are anonymous for both the teacher and the students. So if you have a student that's maybe apprehensive about answering because they're afraid of getting it wrong and being embarrassed, that kind of takes that element out of it. But when class is over and attendance comes to your email, you will also have a sheet that shows all of your poll questions and who answered what for each question. So it's really nice in that regard. You can see who's comprehending the material and who might be struggling with it. But what we are all here for is the breakout rooms. So I'm going to go ahead and click this. And this is our bare bones setup for breakout rooms. We have the main call, which is what I am currently in. And as you can see, all of the active participants are in this call. Then down below are where our rooms are at. And right now there's 2, but if I come up here and change it by adding more, you'll see it continues. And this has a very large, maximum number. I stopped counting at 45 breakout rooms. I don't think we will ever get that close to needing that many rooms. So don't ever worry about room capacity. I'm going to leave it at 2 for the sake of this because I only have 2 students. So we have shuffle. If you don't mind having a randomized breakout structure, this is fine. I don't particularly like random structure. So quite frequently I will place students in the room I want by dragging and dropping their names around. Then if you want to start from scratch all over again, you can click clear and everybody starts back at the basics. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to drag Mrs. Kanzler into breakout room 1. I'm going to leave SL guest in our main call just for, example purposes. So we will open up the room. And Mrs. Kanzler right now on her device will have a message that says that there is a breakout room that has been created. Would they like to join it? And she will click join. Once she's done that, you can see it removed her from the main call and moved her into a breakout room. Now, what I highly recommend is that if you are going to have a group that is unsupervised by an adult, that you leave them in the main room, because in the main room you have the option to record the meeting. This is the video that is sent to you at the end of every meet. The breakout rooms do not have a record option, which is why I say unsupervised groups should stay in the main channel where it can be recorded. That way if something is said while you are in a breakout room, there is a record of it. So now that I have the main channel recording, I am going to pop over into room 1 by clicking join. So each room has a join button. I will click it and it will take me right over there. Now the thing to also keep in mind is that because breakout rooms do not have the option to record, which I will show you really quick, no record option here. Because they don't have that option, I also strongly recommend that you do not go 1v1 with you and a student in this breakout room unless you have a third-party app recorded, like Screencastify, Loom, or a program that's installed on your computer. I just really don't recommend it. So we're in the breakout room, we're working, we're helping. If you go, you still have a chat. All of that stuff is still utilizable in breakout rooms. So we'll navigate breakout room. Okay, we got our one-on-one help done here. Let's go back to the main call. All I have to do that as the teacher would be to click leave. That will leave Mrs. Kanzler in room 1, but return me to the main call. And anytime someone comes to the main call while it's being recorded, they will receive this message, just as a safety precaution, with the record option being on. So, back in the main room, Mrs. Kanzler still working hard in breakout room 1. Let's say I want to end breakout rooms now and bring everybody back to the main call. What I do is I can just click close rooms. Do you want to? Yes, I do. Now, notice Mrs. Kanzler doesn't come back right away. That's because on her end, it will say, hey, the breakout rooms have ended. You're returning to the main room. And then they have to click a button that says return. Once they have done that, if it's being recorded, remember, they have to say, yes, I know it's being recorded, join anyway. And then they're back. At which point you'll notice there are no active breakout rooms. Everybody's back. And we can carry on with either instruction or a wrap up for the class. I kid you not, you guys, once we get the hang of the breakout rooms, they are such a nice tool. And I kind of feel like I have an unfair advantage with TEALS because at any given time we have 3 to 4 adults that are able to go into breakout rooms so that we're not unrecorded in a breakout room, or so we're not one teacher, one student in a breakout room. I would highly recommend, if you have the option of utilizing a para, to utilize a para for breakout rooms. Because like I said, that not being able to record in them really makes me a little uncomfortable. So I'm sure you guys will all figure out a system that works best for you, but that is our breakout rooms in a nutshell. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me, message me, or yodel down the hall. Have fun and happy learning.